everybody. Thank you for joining me here on The Way Shower. For those of you who are new to my channel, my name is Carol. And most of what I relate to you, if not all of it, is from my own personal experience. So it's not that other people haven't had these experiences, it's just that I am not going to regurgitate something to you that you can read someplace else. So what I share with you is from my own personal experience. And what I want to share with you today is my understanding, my personal understanding through my experiences and through my guidance system about why we are now going through the awakening process. I did do a video a while back about what the awakening process is and what ascension is, and I'll link that to this video at the end. But there are also other people who have done a pretty good job at explaining what the awakening is and what ascension is. But very few people have touched on why we are going through it. So I wanted to share that with you very briefly in this video, and it's my perception of it according to my experiences and the understandings that I have received from my guidance system. So the reason why we're going through this awakening process en masse, meaning that there are so many human beings that are now going through the awakening, the reason for it is so that we can become more self-realized and self-actualized, so that we can become like some of the past great way showers and masters that were able to do feats that, like building the pyramid, like turning water into wine, and making food for tons of people out of a simple loaf of bread or a basket of corn. So we, as human beings, we are all capable of that, every single one of us. But in order to achieve that level of self-mastery, to be able to do those types of seemingly miraculous feats, in order to do that, we have to wake up to who we are. We have to begin to understand that we are so much more than what meets the third dimensional view. What we see all around us every day, each other, and when we look in the mirror, that's just, that's not an illusion, really. It's our reality, but it's just the tip of the iceberg. There is so much more inside of us and hidden away, that if we just take a few minutes every day to look for it, to feel it inside of ourselves, we will eventually discover it, and we can bring that up to the surface, and then we can begin to create with it. We can create our own realities. We can create our heaven on earth. We can create Shangri-La. We can create this beautiful, peaceful paradise. And then once we get to that level, once we get to the point where we have awakened enough that we know who we are inside and how we're connected to each other and all of life and to the Creator, once we get to that point, then we can begin to create beautiful things, beautiful, wonderful things. And then when that happens, we can then choose to move on and to become closer to the prime creator, to the source creator, to the prime source. So that's what we came here for. We came here, all of us human beings, we came here so that we could find that inside of ourselves and have all of these experiences, and then use it, put it to work with it, create beautiful things, and then leave and go closer to the Creator, to the prime source. We won't go directly to the prime source, as far as I understand, but that's fine too. We do get closer. So like when I get my messages, from, most of my messages come from group consciousness. And there are various group consciousness, and several that I get messages from. The one that is most common are the Melchizedeks, plural, and the Council of Nine. And also Thoth, with an E on the end of it, to signify that it is an energetic component and not a singular being. But those are group consciousness. And so there is kind of sort of individual identities inside of those group consciousness, but that's where we're going to next. We're going to some place like that, is what I understand. But it takes us closer to the prime source creator, and it gives us a better understanding. And once we get there, it's not some place that you really want to leave, because the feeling is just so good. But until then, I mean, if we create here, we get to that level, we can choose to stay and enjoy it. Enjoy our creations for a while before we move on. But anyhow, okay, I don't want to make this too long. I just wanted you to know the why of our awakening process, why so many people are waking up now. And it's that it's to attain that level of enlightenment, of self-realization, so that we can work together to create a peaceful society and coexistence and heaven on earth, Shangri-La sort of thing. So while one person can attain that level of enlightenment and create a beautiful living space for themselves and a very peaceful way of life for themselves, the rest of the world is still in shambles, in disarray. And what we are looking to achieve here now is for enough of us to come to that level of enlightenment, that level of understanding of who we are as individuals and as a group consciousness. We are all connected here. We are our own group consciousness here. If enough of us can get to that level, we can create an extremely wonderful, beautiful reality here. And that's kind of where the fifth dimension comes in too. That you hear a lot of people talking about living in the fifth dimension and how beautiful it is, etc. But before we can do any of that, we have to wake up to who we are as human beings with physical bodies and as spiritual beings connected to each other, to the Creator, and to all of life. And the way that we do that is to begin to embrace and experiment and play with the new abilities that you're discovering within yourself every day. But you must also exercise discernment, because there are elements at play that are hoping that we don't make it. But I have a lot of faith in us. So this video is to tell you to continue searching, continue looking for your truth, but look for it inside of yourself. You don't stop searching for the answers and for guideposts and material outside of yourself that will help your little mind to understand it, because our little mind is going along with us on this journey, on this ride. And that's part of the wonder of it all, is that we can have that little mind and we can enjoy the ascension process, that we can enjoy the creation that we are going to create, that we are now creating. We will be able to enjoy it as human beings in our physical bodies on a very personal level, and our egos will be able to enjoy it too and participate in our little minds. So we want to gain as much understanding as we can, but the bottom line is that the truth, your truth, is going to come from inside of you. So whenever you listen to me, whenever you watch my videos, whenever you read a book, watch somebody else's videos, go to church or sit in some type of a prayer meeting or meditation, listen to it, look at it, read it, try to understand it, but in the end, you have to feel it inside of yourself. Because if you don't feel that truth inside of yourself, It's not a part of your truth. Okay, so I hope I did a good job of explaining that. If not, please ask a question, and as usual, I will do my best to answer it. All right, love and blessings to all of you. It is starting to get chilly, so I'm going to go feed my horse and get inside and get some coffee. Love to you all.